And for boundless. So once, boundless. What do we mean? So actually, if we have read information theory or physics, there is a word called entropy or randomness.
இல்லை நான் எல்லாம் எடுத்து வைக்கிறேன். நான் வந்துடுறேன். I will come and listen. சரி, வாட்டர் பாட்டில் எடுத்துக்கிறேன்.
When problems are enormous, opportunities are enormous. We actually are running for opportunities. So, because I know prompting, and almost all of you might know prompting, like how to yap in front of the ChatGPT or Perplexity to get things done. What difference that I make as a 6 years experience design data, AI, ML, work with companies versus a 6 months old intern. So, what makes a difference, or what can make a difference? Or let's say, as a 6 months experienced intern, what you can make a difference than me or any industry leaders. So it's all like how we perceive the opportunities and what we emphasize on. So that's where so we are betting on AI on boundless opportunities, and we will be discussing where it is going to play a major role, or maybe this is it's like one window where we are looking through the opportunities. It's not just the only window. So when we say AI, and when we say AI is going to make description, personally I believe that that description is like how challenging stuff that we are trying to do with AI, not just I made the entire slide with the help of AI. That doesn't make any sense to my skills, right? For example, if I give the same topic to you, you would also make you can also make some 10 pages, 20 pages, or maybe make a paper also, right? But what makes the difference? It's like how we conceptualize things. So that's where this talk is going to be a kind of an experience and the experiment, and also some sort of thought process that I put together, and some validation. So it's like a place for validation and discussion. So I just wanted to make it as a 4 major parts. What are the solutions that we build? See, solution is not AI. AI is just an ingredient. Solution is still a broad perspective. For example, I'm planning to apply for high studies, right? I want to write an SOP. I can just upload my resume and then say that write a very beautiful SOP. It will write it, but will I get an argument? No. Where I'm making sense, or how I can make that AI do the solution. Solution means it solved it. It is not cooking something and showing you, okay, this sounds good, or this looks good. That's not. So that's where I personally use these 4 things. See, there may be some jargons, but it's just for easily stick to the concepts. I worked in Music Bar. There we followed a lot of design thinking related stuff to quickly adapt, quickly learn things. It's like result of that experience, maybe I would say. So which is like a solution I'm envisioning into design, data, dynamics, and we'll be looking into complex societal problems for which we can dwell into okay, AI is there, along with it what all we can bring it on. And it will give you some sort of ideas what you can do, rather than just listening, what you can do as a project, or what you can collaborate as a community vision. So actually there is an overlap between it's not overlap, maybe the continuation between what Sarah talked to me, because this talk is kind of like a masterpiece of me and such books. And the first is anti-fragile, the which is nothing but okay, disruption happens, something is keep on like pestering us, okay, AI is coming, AI is going to replace you. What we are going to evolve, how we are going to evolve, or how we are going to make some opportunity of it. And like, and also I would suggest you to read these kind of books, which will give you some perspective in terms of putting or bringing your own essence to the problem. So yeah, let's start what societal problems will be. And why are we saying that it's complex? For example, in the beginning, we saw the video on Kaushika Nikar. So that's kind of a part of a very big complex problem that we, Tamil Nadu or India, faces, which is like conservation of natural resources. Not so likewise, we have certain number of problems like climate change, disaster, or food security, or maybe even information trust and safety. Because like right now, let's say you go and stand in front of Google and shout something, or take a video and put it on Instagram, even if it is like misinformation, it will spread like a fire. What mechanism do we have, and how AI is going to support us? Same goes in like a tier 2 city comparing with the world. Tier 2 city of Coimbatore is struggling with construction projects or mismanagement in traffic, all sorts. And also we have healthcare access. Likewise, lot of problems are there, and they are not just problems; they are also complex. Why are we saying complex? Complex or complexity is not just problem is very big, but the characteristics are very tough to understand. For example, I have pancreatitis. I can easily understand, okay, what level of issue I have, and what would be the solution, and what would be the everyday lifestyle that I need to manage. Because pancreas, you should not eat much, and then you have to be kind of active. This is like one line in the flow of solution. But let's say you are having some other autoimmune issues or something else, which is keep on changing itself, and which is continuously interconnected with something else. For example, the climate change is closely touching the problem of food security or agricultural challenges. Suddenly, rain comes in, pouring, cloudburst happens, the problem of agricultural issues arise. The same thing you can easily connect. The problems are interconnected, and two problems bring new problems, and they are non-linear. You cannot judge that like when like the problem can be contained or when the problem will represent. So all such things you cannot judge. So for that only we need a kind of framework, or maybe a kind of a consensus among them when we try to solve a problem, which is how we can understand the problems very better up to the possible, and how can we give more room to the assumptions and the possible solutions, and also how we can enable better decision making. Because why I am stressing on the word decision making, or maybe I will be introducing the word called decision engineering. You would have learned design engineering, front-end engineering, and AI engineering is there. But I believe, or even like you can also think logically, they all become like very siloed one, and they are not like putting social in center or human in center, or even your Fortune 500 customer in center. Like everyone operates in bias. For example, I know AI, or I know land graph, and I know this much level of thought process. What I will do, I'll write a very rustic language. Okay, write from me to a Fortune 500 client to get a deal. This versus there is some thought process in it which can actually make the client to reply back to you. So this is the difference. One is understanding or learning the technology and make ourselves urged, and then keep on try something. Okay, today I am going to develop an agent which can write a proposal, and second day I will be writing some thing which can write a SOP. Third day I will write a mail. But this all can be done with one line of prompt itself. So what are we trying to make, or what are we trying to make use of the learning. Right? So that's where like I'm just trying to combine all these things. Like you can maybe I can share it and you can slowly read that. So if we go from design, so most of them where we maybe like concentrated in any one of them. For example, thought leaders. Thought leaders mostly like, they talk a lot about the decisions like okay, I need this, or it should be this, or let's say this won't work out in the banking industry. Likewise, they always talk more on the outcomes or the outputs. Maybe people who are so fascinated about the design, all these things, they'll be talking about, okay, China has this thing, okay, why can't we put this? San Francisco has this kind of ability, why cannot we bring it to KGCAS or NGP? So likewise, we all like stand in any one of these ideas. For example, if you're a data engineer, you just think about Spark or Airflow, how can I automate all these things. But when it comes to a complex problem, it all has to work in tandem. Let's take problem by problem. So the first problem, which is our math is Nazi. See, all see, from 2014 or maybe 12 onwards, when Thane hits, from then onwards, like we devote this October, November, December as like the month of praise, like pray for Tamil Nadu, pray for Viluppuram, pray for Kannur, or like kind of like donate money. So it's all like we do all these interventions at that moment. Our government is trying to do a lot of things in terms of it's kind of a muscular things only they do. It's just like build check dams or build such things or allocate a lot of money. But there should be some complementary thing which is more of how we can put AI in this place. And it's more or less like it's not I'm suggesting the solution, I'm trying to put what research is going on and what we may need as a community, what kind of efforts that we need. For example, like this year, when we consider this Fengal, right? Fengal actually created a lot of chaos. Number one, we are not able to join it where it will cross. It was said to be like somewhere Mahabalipuram and Chennai, and then it becomes like Mahabalipuram and Karaikal, then it becomes Karaikal and Pondicherry, like this gets switched. And we were not able to really understand that. And politicians or government officials keep pointing out IIT didn't do properly. And then we were not able to understand the flood level or the mishaps can happen. It's like the simulation or the broad thinking was not in place. So why I say is like okay, we are capable of handling once such social problems happen, but we're not moving needles towards like okay, how I can like improve 20% to 30%. The burden reduction of burden in the period, right? And also it affects a lot of crops. So that's where I'm just bringing on some open source research work that Google has been doing. So actually, this one, Google has collaboratively worked on global flood predictions. So what they've done is they have collected a lot of data points, like from satellite imagery, historical data, forecast, whatever, like even the catchment related information. And they have built an LSTM based model. If you don't know what is LSTM is like long short-term memory, which is a neural network model, which is again an AI model, which can understand the patterns of historical things and try to say, if you can see this is from Niger River. The same thing, like if you go to Flood Hub, you can check the flood warnings. Okay, you can check that like you can see for today, tomorrow, like around 12 to 13th December, you can see some sort of flood warning to be given on Senji River. Senji River is like in Tamil Nadu, right? So such initiatives are happening. So one problem with this initiative is this is global, so it may not be that contextual to your local. So in that case, we need to further develop such activities. Let's say if you want to model the further, like more contextual models or more contextual AI to only Tamil Nadu, where we can collect more and more data so that it can become more accurate. Right? For example, Hugging Face or OpenAI or any AI models that you see in the world, they can talk Tamil. Are they talking right Tamil? Will it make sense when you give a task? It will be the question. So that's why the adding the contextuality, making it usable to the normal crowd. And that's where so they have built some sort of like a platform or like a base work where you can read a lot. But if you see, there are four things. Even if you are a fully technical guy and you are running out of ideas, what should I do then? My friend is working on agents or somebody is working on automatically programming things. All such problems are already solved, or maybe there is no room for yourself to show yourself. But these are the society problems which still has the contextual freedom or which requires the contextual effort to collect data, collaboratively working on models or make it validated on the ground. For example, there are a lot of initiatives that happened over the last few months, which is developing Indic LLMs, make the LLMs to talk Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and everything. Everyone named it like Ambari, Safari, whatever they call it. But you just ask one question: did they make any impact? Sarvam launched a lot of Indic language models, or every individual is trying to develop it. But all of them created some hype, but they didn't reach the true problem on the ground to the expected level. Maybe the more and more community effort may be needed. The same way how we are focusing as a community to the language models that is getting developed, that is opportunity for us where we can focus more on, adding penny of amounts of contribution to collecting data, making some good models and all such things. So you can take anything. This is a very good paper where they have developed this LSTM with. They are able to make like 7 days medium range flight focus. Same way, Google has recently released, very recently means within last few days, they released this model called GenCast. Google's GenCast. You can Google it. So in this paper, so one thing about Google is like people might be saying that Gemini is not working on anything, but Google has a lot of things to solve. One such thing is they're also into weather, flood, typhoons, all such things. So in GenCast, they're able to forecast weather they're making very good predictions, better than the traditional models. What they do is they have built a diffusion model. So the thing is, I always search. Okay, I don't want to work on language models. I don't want to work on image generation models. Why? Because people are already working on it, and I'm not able to really see the gap, right? Because when I think okay, can we put this? Can we that? But the thing is, the creativity or maybe the pain rate, I don't feel when it comes to more of in terms of generating the image or making the video or making the game. But rather, if you see here, in terms of weather forecast or any sort of climate related stuff, this approach seems very interesting because they combine multiple things. One is diffusion. So the diffusion is nothing but learning things or the patterns of the factored imageries or the meteorological data that is available as X-ray or 2D or 3D grids. And on top of that, what they do is they are using that auto-regression, which is nothing but they are adding more and more historical information and they make it as a probabilistic one. Because probabilistic is what the reality. If I say typhoon will cause or maybe the cyclone will cause this particular area, if we cannot continue to rely on it. We need to have it. How possible is it? The calibrated probability is what we all require. So that's why one thing, maybe if at all you are starting a new career or new shift in 2025, sit for 1 week and be a devil's advocate, question all your practices, whether I'm doing right, whether I'm doing hypothesis testing right, whether I'm initializing a learning rate right, whether I'm training a model right. Because why I'm saying this, most of the common practices that we do, as an applied machine learning engineers and applied developers, the AI developers, whatever it is, we are not seeing things from the broader, what other things are available. We just stick to what we learned in the first 6 months of data science or machine learning all systems. So this is where I need to reflect. The probabilistic machine learning is something that you can carry forward from this one particular slide, which has huge opportunity if you go in any sort of things, e-commerce, marketing, or something very focused, social things. Because almost all these problems are complex. They involve uncertainty. You cannot just say that like this will happen for sure. You can say that this has the likelihood which is calibrated. Which means if you say 40%, it should be kind of like 40%. And they are doing a lot of physical simulations to validate like, cyclones, temperature anomalies. Because why I'm saying temperature anomalies is when it comes to the East Coast, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, we have an attached economy over there which is aquaculture. Aquaculture is a growing economy because I worked in that, that's why I'm reading it, where they are subject to the problems of cyclones all systems. One cyclone crosses Nellore, the entire shrimp farm of people. It will get impacted. So for a better planning, for better mitigation, we might need to know like kind of information about cyclones, the temperature changes, all such things. So I'm just listing out multiple problems and what research is going on, and then how we can adapt. It's like a hook. You may need to push the hook further so that you can get a very clear idea what you need to do. So that's why I like it. So all these things are frontier open source models. Data sets are available. Even like recently, there is a data set released with 4 spaces or something released in Hugging Face that has geotagged data sets of almost global level. They have around like 11 GB or 13 GB. You can see that like the opportunities on like where the customer base can arise or where more number of people are there. So such things you can do on these kind of data sets. The next problem is rivers. So Tamil Nadu has like n number of rivers, and recently, not recently, over the time, even from 2018, 2014 to 2000, this boating, which is contamination, is continuing to happen. Especially like in Salem, Namath, this Tiruvanimuttadu, which is like it will create more and more folks like recently Tenpennai, which is like that from Satanur Dam or maybe the Kenavarapalli Dam, which originates from Nandi Hills of Bangalore. We always see that once it crosses Karnataka border, it ends up having a lot of foam and foam, which is like the water quality itself is disrupted. You cannot just go and put some bleaching powder or something else, or you cannot just stop it in one day. So that needs a better approach. Actually, I've read this particular paper. So this is in Lake Basin, Chandran Lake Basin. So what they've done is they have used graph neural network. So graph neural network is something that you can model any free shape things or the networks or connected things. For example, if you want to understand who will be the right person to bring the message to multiple people, let's say who will be the right influencer to, or who will be the right guy to take forward this particular initiative. Let's say if you want to analyze among ourselves, right? We might need to do a network analysis. Who has the more connections? Who has more centrality? The same way to understand like what are the origins or what makes the like this water to contagion, the contamination to happen more and more in the further distributions, right? So they've used graph neural network on top of like they've collected n number of parameters like ammonia content, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, all such things. For every 4 hours over 17 months, they put sensors, they collected the data and then they modeled it out to see that like okay, how is water quality is getting changed over network to network. So this is where these kind of problems bring more things. One is okay, I know machine learning, but who will develop sensors which are so compatible, so cheap, so that you can just throw it in any water bodies and you will get the readings over the time. Because we tried something for like measuring such things in we're conceptualizing having a very portable device which can be put it on number of ponds, aquaculture ponds, so that it will collect the water quality data. Because again, shrimps are very sensitive to such things. The same way, it actually gives more options. Okay, I need an embedded engineer who can develop that. So even if you are an embedded engineer or if you are a super engineer, if you can develop this kind of sensor, which can move around, which can be just used with the rope, but it can withstand for a week or a month or something, which is so cheap, and which can send data to a common protocol, and then our machine learning models can work on that. So they have developed such things, but this is manually collected, like using that they made the collection centers for stations on our tool. So here the two takeaways I would say. One is like this graph neural networks are literally amazing one. If you are really going behind like prompting in this session, in this stage, I would suggest if you are literally going behind agents, maybe like in my other talk, I'll again talk about like what would be the best way to use agents on a bit like good problem statement. But here like this neural networks, graph neural networks, or maybe the better design of sensors, that would be a very good takeaway to plan your behavior. And this is one interesting foundation that released very recently, maybe like a couple of weeks back, which is people dynamics foundation model. So this is actually done on US data. So that's why why I'm putting like design data, all these things, because we lack data in most of the places. If we want to like understand, let's say, why this people dynamics is there are a lot of problems that are mostly centered with the mobilization of people or maybe the socio-economic conditions of people. For example, we have task marks. We have let's say certain areas, let's say Shipyard area of Erode, around the surrounding places. I read a lot of articles about like people having cancers. Or a lot of things other biodiversity areas or poverty. For example, from the outside we see Coimbatore is kind of a well-earning city, but within Coimbatore there might be underrepresented areas. Or within Tamil Nadu there will be a lot of underrepresented areas. Or even like if you compare like West TN versus Delta, there is some very huge difference in all these factors. So these are all the things we observe as a static metrics that NSS launches or Tamil Nadu government say. But how the dynamics change, how it is like vary over time, or what is the correlation between multiple things. For example, number of task marks versus something else, or number of tanks versus the culture, or maybe versus the per capita earning or something else. For example, if you go to the lower delta, which is like the Grand Aniket, the Kalani Kalwai, below to that, that area has lot of lakes, lot of water bodies, opportunity to make agriculture that Coimbatore or West Tamil Nadu believes in drip irrigation or like well-based irrigation or borewell irrigation, but there is abundance of water. But what made them to grow? The West TN to grow and other two not able to harness the opportunity. So because they have tried this on US, they have combined multiple things like epidemics data, weather, quality, and they also use like business, like how actually people are working on something. And then they did the foundation model. Because we always consider, or maybe we have some misconception most of the time when we are not pure researchers, when we are doing applied research or applied development, we consider foundation model equals to language model. It's not the case. Foundation model is something you can solve multiple problems. You build one model, that one model will have a base knowledge. On top of it, you can distill multiple problem solutions. It's more or less like a horizontalist or a generalist who can able to help you in a specific direction. Right? Such thing is what the people dynamics model. They are actually working on 27 downstream tasks. You can read the paper. They are working on socio-economic factors, unemployability, all such things. So this helps to understand why it is happening. Because if you are starting your machine learning or AI or anything, there are four in analytics or anything, which is descriptive, inferential, predictive, and prescriptive. Most of the time, we stuck with two things. One is descriptive. We just put SQL code, get the statistics, say that okay, sales is growing, or unemployment is growing, or people are happy. We just like saying what is happening. Or maybe we just work on like some models. We'll put dot fit, dot predict, and we'll import from Scalar, we'll put the XGBoost, and we'll put it on our resume and say that okay, my model is performing all these things. But what people want actually, what the business wants, and what governments want, and what you want is to understand why it is happening and how can I solve that or how can I take some measurements against that. So these kind of models are not just predicting, but they bring visibility, right? So actually, I've come up with some potential problems that we can model with the help of right data collection and right community efforts. One is like cancer risk mapping. So why this cancer risk mapping is so important is, so we are growing, right? And we are betting more on, we are more bullish on making more and more investments to Tamil Nadu and trying to harness any opportunities come our way. And we are having a lot of competition. Industries are coming in. Do we care about like the aftermath of that? Yeah, we do care about that. Some industries win. But the thing is, we also wanted to know whether there is a true problem is happening and that is purely because of industry or is it because of something else? And is there any misinformation predicts? A lot of things are there with one thing. That's why I'm saying that is a complex problem, which is not directly when I say, okay, people in this area having a lot of cancer, it is because of this industry. No, it may be something else also. It's my hypothesis, or it can be a true hypothesis also. And we have alcohol abuse policies. Sometimes we want to be too rational, but wrongly rational, which is nothing but okay. Tamil Nadu should not consume alcohol. But what should be the different nudge so that the disruptive problems can be solved? Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu has that good social life. And we have poverty forecasting, unemployment, so all of that such things, you just need 2, 3, 4 components. One is you take any one of the problem. Second one is what data is available, what the best data is available. Third one is am I able to model this behavior? As I said, dynamics. Right? Dynamics is nothing but trying to build this behavior as a computational rule, which is nothing but a digital thing or a model or a linear regression. It's a simple linear regression. But simple linear regression would not answer your question. So you might need to learn further a causal machine learning model or maybe a Bayesian machine learning model. So that's where the curiosity pushes you to really acknowledge this problem is still there. I have to move to the different direction in terms of exploring. So maybe you take fisheries or maybe you take unemployment. Try to find, okay, unemployment, will it grow or not? Not just that. Maybe what may contribute to that unemployment? Can we try to understand from what are the national statistics available? Can we make a very like 40%, 50% to that? Rather than we keep on building the projects. Why I'm saying is because almost all of us are running behind making ourselves unique and also to chase some good packages to live a very good life. How can it happen? You have to be in some sort of a tangible position. But my resume or my quality that I have inculcated so far is timely data sets, or maybe like right now everyone builds customer support chatbots. Chatbots become new normal, and that is making people everyone look like average. Because I also build chatbots, you also build chatbots. There was one query from one of the WhatsApp group. They wanted to build a chatbot for university application as such. But if you think from user point of view, will chatbot solve this problem? This is very good decision code. I would say decision code would solve the problem. So that's where again the design comes to picture, user comes to picture. So you can take any problem and then you can do a simple prototype. Or maybe the next tech for good session can be on top of that, where we try to solve data issues, design issues, and all these things. And I have a challenge. Yeah, this is what I want to put if you can take this as a kind of framework or anything. Obviously, few of you, or maybe someone of you might think is it just like a bad influencing or not? But if you think it will make sense. We need some sort of template and canvas where you take a problem, you take research, or you take some sort of reference solution, thinking all four things. Actually, I can add another one thing is called distribution, but you can bring it under decision itself. Distribution is nothing but how this solution can be distributed to the actual use, right? Because in my 6 years, by Jackson, I'll be 6 years into data and all these things. I have developed multiple solutions. Maybe half of the solution linked to S3 buckets or they're sleeping in the GitHub or they're sleeping in my old laptop because we were not able to untap how I can convey this decision rightly. Because in the earlier years, when I was in my first year, second year of my decision scientist, because that was my designation, I used to build a lot of models. I used to muscle myself hey, I built an XGBoost. I have hyped the XGBoost. I know face recognition. I know all these things. But nobody was using it. I did not really take up the right problems. But there was one disruptive moment. I happened to work with Japanese company. That was actually challenging. They did not ask for this dynamics, just an AI model. They wanted for a unique solution and also unique experience with it. They don't want to use mouse. They don't want to just sit in front of the model is working. They want to get real-time updates. They want to get more and more actionables. There's two things: predictions, actionables. Predictions will just say this customer will churn out from you. This prediction will say, for example, you have built a lot of models on skin cancer or diabetes, something else. I have built customer churn, customer opportunity, all such models. If you just build one model, if it is saying this customer will churn out from you, okay. What else? What can we do? Why are they actually churning out from? I'm just trying to put some other instances. That's why you want all these four because this is kind of I would say enlightenment from whatever experience they got from Yosima and then other experiments with product companies. I'm able to see that okay, if I just be for example, just be a model built it, or just be the code writer. I don't see excitement, or I don't see I'm trying to on some sort of a leader or anything. I can be get more and more leadership opportunity by experience. Let's say, okay, these 4 years into front-end development, 50 years you should be senior front-end development. I don't want that. Maybe few of you may not want that. And social-centric problems don't want just code writers. They want horizontalist. My previous CEO used to call horizontalist. Nothing but they wanted to bring or understand some nuances or maybe relate or empathize other things as well. So maybe I have another challenge for you. Maybe you can take it. You can be anything. You can design. Design is nothing but not just designing a front end or designing I put on Kubernetes cluster that will go there and that will keep on talk to my SQL. It's not design. Design is more starts understanding the problem, how the problem constitutes. So you can take this particular problem. How can AI address Tamil Nadu's practice challenge? This one particular problem is something we don't care about because we keep on earning money, so we don't care about practice or anything. I'm at the risk of that. Maybe few of you will risk of that. My families, friends, but how we can make a small change in this challenge. I'm not saying AI should reverse the diabetes. That's not the case. But diabetes and AI, what interaction it can make and that emergence is positive. And yeah, I'm just done. Thanks to CD and Siddharth. Because it was actually I was trying to make a presentation on something else. Maybe I may be talking about how can I build agents or how can I train the one specific model. But one call when I was traveling and trying and we were discussing about this Kausika and then some of the problems, and that triggered me. But also here I am just to trigger you to travel in a new paradigm of problems. I'm not saying that you should be a socialist, liberalist, or anything. It's not wokeism. It's some sort of like, okay, that is an opportunity that is kind of interesting. I'm just being practical. And yeah, you just like explore, experiment. Even if you're right or even if you're wrong, just try to validate, try to execute it, so that you get a better clarity whether it is worth doing, worth continuing, or whether that has a demand or not. See, there is one thing that I want to just position. See, when Zomato, Swiggy, all such people come into maybe Salem, Coimbatore, or maybe even in the top level cities, people were just worrying about, okay, I'm getting food, am I getting for free? When people started adapting Zomato, Swiggy, the major behavior among the people was not, okay, I'm getting food at my place. No, I'm getting offered. But that is actually a trigger to change the behavior of the people. Now, for example, me, I'm not at all seeing what's the bill. I'm not at all seeing they are charging different platform fees. 10 rupees one day, 20 rupees one day, if it is before Diwali or before Raksha Bandhan or anything, 30 rupees, 40 rupees they put. I'm not opening that thing. This is also fine. I'm not even going and seeing in the coupons, whether the coupons are there or not. No, it's not me only, a lot of people can rest it. Which means a small trick has started a behavioral change. If you go back and see the list of books I've seen, all these things I kind of inspired from them. Maybe I kind of resonate with them. Anti-fragility, or tipping point, or other things like creative confidence. You read just a preface of it and just resonate with you. Okay, this guy makes sense. This may be helping you for 2025. So it's all starts with a small step. I'm just like brought my story and some sort of experience of anything. And finally, like if you want very deep the conversation, that's another session. You can come there and then deep discussion. And then thanks, cheers. If you have any questions, appreciations, thought, especially if you want to roast, doubts, critics. I have this page, the decision engineer data, it's very fresh page. I just wanted to experiment. Because when I was in music, we used the term decision science. My previous CEO used to say, decision science is nothing but data science with impact. Decision engineering, why decision engineering is needed? Most of the time, the science is being kind of solved in many places. AI, OpenAI, 1% built very big model. Scientifically, the problem is kind of solved. But I want to engineer multiple things and cater to multiple peoples. And I want to address the complexity also. My problems are keep on evolving. So I need to have a hook, keep on learning. So the system is also evolving. And my LinkedIn page is there, Twitter is there. You can share your comments, you can message me if you resonate with this, or if you have any other ideas, if you have any doubts. All these things are available there. Thanks for the opportunity. If you have any questions, anything, you can reach out me any chance. Yeah. One thing is going to be very different. I just wanted to say that because DevFest Coimbatore is kind of stand out from any DevFest happening across the world or across the India. Why I'm saying this, we are thinking something different. We are thinking something unique. Not we are keep on talking how to install something, how to run something, how to debug something. Because that knowledge is already there. When we wanted to bring new, it's like again new behavior or new goal or new maybe the FOMO, new FOMO I would say. So far the FOMO that we have, I don't know Kubernetes, I don't know agents, I don't know. That's not FOMO. The FOMO is I don't know this particular problem. I don't know this particular school of thoughts, and I didn't do this. So that's what. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, sir, for the informative session, and we would like to give you a small performance.
Thank you.